Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Unlimited on a retro card, which I have to say, I'm going to probably point this out forever. The Spider-Man retro cards that look like this, so good looking. I have it too bright, I think. Let's knock it down a little bit. Love these cards. I don't know if this guy was actually on this card ever, I don't remember, but it looks great. So if you are an on-card collector, these look wonderful. They're so colorful and very, very much like the original one, so that's great. This figure, I've been told two things. I've been told, what the heck, it's a pile of garbage, and it's actually pretty good. And I have to say, I'm going to go against what people might expect, and I'm going to defend this figure a little bit. There's a lot on this thing that's nice. Now, there are things that are terrible, and I'm going to call out all of it. Almost like this is a review, and I'm going to say the good and the bad. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package, and like I said, it's a very nice package, and since I talked about it a bunch, I don't need to talk about it anymore. It's nice. Looks good on the front, looks good on the back, and I'll review, I haven't reviewed this guy, or this guy yet. I will be doing that, especially this guy. Alright, I do want to talk about this real quick, because that's what he's supposed to look like. Thank you, Hasbro. Thank you. That's what he's supposed to look like. We're going to set this aside right here so I can reference it, because that's what the figure looks like. They missed it. Can't defend that. There's no defending that. But okay, anyway, let's start with our review properly so I don't get things missed and screwed up. He stands about 16.25, 16.3 centimeters, right around there. And that's going to be about 6 3/8. And he is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. If you need to get one, you can do that using the link in the description below. I would appreciate it. Okay, let's get into the... Oh, I need to tell you guys this first. Two things. I'm going to do housekeeping all this week so that you guys hear it. New lighting. I got new lighting so that the videos would look a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. Let me know if it looks good to you. I think I've got it adjusted in a way that's nice, but everybody's displays are different, so let me know. Okay? And then the second thing is I'm going to be starting a live stream 2 times a month. It's every other Monday. First one being this coming Monday. We're going to be talking about Toy Fair. And after Toy Fair is done being talked about, going forward, we'll be talking about action figure sculpting, engineering, anime. You know, we'll be talking about anything that's pop culture, and it'll be fun. It'll be me and my buddy, and then maybe we'll have other people on too sometimes, and it should be a good, fun thing. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, it'll be Mondays at 8, but every other Monday. Okay, let's talk about this guy. I happen to be quite partial to the Spider-Man Unlimited look. I've always enjoyed it, and they screwed it up. So I will never forgive them. I will, because I don't care that much. But they did really screw it up. If you look at the blue part, instead of being black with blue highlights, which is how it's drawn, we can argue, we can debate whether that's meant to be blue in shadow, and that's why there are blue highlights or whatever. It doesn't matter. All we know is this is what it looks like. It's like the whole Batman animated series debate. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what color it's supposed to be. We can make it look like it did in the show or in the comics. I don't know about the comics at all. I just know it from the show. We can make it look like this. That's all. I don't care what it's supposed to be. So you can argue it's blue, so it's fine. You can argue that, but it doesn't look the same. And that's what I'm going to argue. This figure should be black and red with blue highlights. That's what it needs. It doesn't have it, so that sucks, especially on the face. Speaking of the face, the head shape is entirely wrong. Why can't Hasbro sculpt Spider-Man heads? It's almost the easiest head to sculpt. Almost, I say. Maybe Silver Surfer's easier, maybe not. Maybe Zero, I think, is probably easier. But this face shouldn't have been hard for them to do, and they screwed it up completely. The eye shape is wrong, the head shape is wrong. It's like, what are you doing? So yeah, whoever complained about those things, you are absolutely spot on. That is a definite problem. Now, the good thing is, his profile, not his profile, his silhouette is nice compared to most Marvel Legends. He still has the birthing hip situation. It's not as bad. Big thigh gap and the hips still stick out right here. But otherwise, I don't have to change the profile very much. His shoulders are higher and wider compared to... Oh man, it looks so much better. This is almost like that... What was it? Ultimate Spider-Man that came out a little while ago? I don't remember anymore. But yeah, look at that. Narrow waist, V-shaped body. The shoulders are out. They're not too far down. You could probably squeak them up a little bit if you really wanted to, but it's such a nice silhouette. It's so much better. If you fix the hips right here, you'd be hitting it out of the park. That's the way to do it. Now, that's from the front. Unfortunately, from the side, Hasbro will not either learn how to sculpt or just make figures the way they're supposed to, because it's basically flat. Like, what's the difference between my ruler and Spider-Man? Nothing. It's the same thing on both sides. Freaking give him some thickness. We need the thickness. Why is there no thickness? He has no pectoral thickness at all. His shoulders are so skinny because of the way they do their butterfly joints. It's just weird how flat their figures are. Luckily, if you look at it from the front, it looks freaking good. So, you're gonna have to trade that off, I guess. Now, the other thing I have to mention is there's a buttload of new sculpting here. It's amazing that we're not paying $50 for this. Oh, it doesn't have as many accessories. My bad. My bad. No toe joints either. But a lot of sculpt work on here, and it's good. Like, they had to make a new torso, and they did what I've been telling them to do forever. They did it right. They almost never have to make a new torso. They did for this guy, and when they do normally, they screw it up still. This one, they didn't. It's very nicely sculpted. Again, other than that thickness issue, the new detail work, of course, is very nice, and it's painted, and it's pretty darn clean, so that's good. But then actually giving him a good, nice silhouette, I love it. Just don't turn him to the side, you lose the silhouette. Though the head silhouette is nicer than this little round thing. Holy crap, how round is his head from the front? But yeah, very nice. I love the sculpt work. It's so good. Like, not everything is perfect. I'm not going to go through every little muscle group and say, oh, this is right, this is wrong. The arms are actually old arms, which aren't very good. But they're hidden underneath these bracelets, and the paint job kind of hides it, so whatever. The legs are not new either, but the bottom parts are. I don't think these were used on anything else. And then he has new feet, which we have to talk about, unfortunately. Well, we'll talk about this first. His cape is okay. It's okay. I think it should be yellow. On the box, it's more yellow, and I remember it being more yellow. This is more milky. It's still fine. It's all right. It doesn't move at all, though. I mean, like, it flexes, but you can't really rotate it. I mean, you can't, so be aware of that. But now, let's talk about the feet. And, you know, I've had people push back in the comments, who cares? It's just the feet. Well, I don't know. People who care about the way their figures look, like, it's supposed to look a certain type of way. Why do you get to decide that the feet don't matter? It's on the figure. That's the way they're drawn in comics almost always. Is it realistic? Not really. It's kind of like a pointy dress shoe, but not extra long. Whatever. It's a weird look, but that's the way they're drawn in the comics almost always. And I will give them credit because we have had feet like this for a while, which just look like a guy wearing socks, which are terrible. We've had the giant Vulcan croc feet. This guy has new feet. I don't think they were used on anyone else. If they were, you can let me know. But they're closer to the right thing, but they're still not. They're still not quite right. The toe is too far over and it's not pointy enough. Look at the difference. You see? I don't know why they can't make things look like the freaking source material. And even if this is original artwork for the package, that's the way they're drawn. So this is good. This is not good. It's a little thing, and you might not care. You don't have to care, guys. These reviews are to provide information to everybody. You don't have to care about everything I say. But it is incorrect to do the feet the way they do it, and I'm going to keep mentioning it until they start doing feet like comic feet. That all being said, I am actually quite pleased with this release. I hate how thin it is. I hate how screwed up the head is, and I hate that the paints are wrong, but because of that silhouette being good, it goes a long way in me enjoying the figure. And I'm curious, let's do a question of the day. How do you guys feel? Does the silhouette do enough making up for you, or is the paint too screwed up? Or is the head too screwed? Like, how does that work for you? For me, the silhouette goes a real long way. The other things are still problems, but because he doesn't look super goofy all the time, I'm a lot more in line with enjoying this figure. Okay, now let's talk about the accessories, because you're going to be really impressed with how lazy Hasbro is here. 2 fist hands, 2 whipping hands, 2 wall crawling hands. That's it. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not $50. We can't expect more accessories like webs or anything. And to that, I would say, apparently you're right. Because we don't have them. 0 out of 10 for accessories. I'm done. Spite points. You know what, Hasbro? You're done. I'm not done. You're done. They're not done. They're going to keep doing it. All right, let's talk about the articulation. Did they give us a nice new ball peg neck? No. No, they didn't. They didn't even give us a good version of their crappy, antiquated neck. It's just acceptable. Like, get with the times, you bums. You bums? I'm not paying $50 for every figure just because you make crappy figures normally. That's not how that works. Butterfly joint is actually pretty good on this guy. It's one of the better ones, and even with the sculpt work, it's pretty nice. I don't have any problems with that. The shoulders, takes a little bit of force, but you can get them up to horizontal. And of course, you're going to get your rotation. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow, no problems. Wrists are going to swivel and hinge. That's all standard. Ab crunch and waist twist. I know some people hate that. Is it dated? Yes. Do I prefer double ball pegs and things? Yes. This is still super functional. It's still, I mean, let's see if it works, but if it does work, yeah, he leans forward. He leans back. They continued the sculpt work. That's okay. It's one of their better ab crunches. It's not super pot-bellied. And you get your waist twist, which is it's not a good-looking joint. It never has been. But you know what? He can lean over to the side and do a kick. Or whatever he needs to do, he can lean over to the side. Their new $50 Spider-Man can't do that. Unless he has a waist twist that I don't know about. But I don't think he does. Like, did they add one? No, they didn't. It doesn't lean to the side. So this is a more functional torso than the new Spider-Man. In at least half the posing that you'll want to do. This is more functional. Just like Armored Daredevil beat out that first goofy Spider-Man they did, that was the best one ever. Okay, now, the big fat gapped hips, which are still super wide and goofy looking. Let's see how they function. Going out to the side, yeah, still can't do splits, of course, because why would they? Going forward, doesn't even go up to horizontal. That's unfortunate. Goes back just a little bit. Thigh swivel is there. Double jointed knee should work. Yeah, we've seen these before. It's fine. You do get a boot cut, which is ugly, but some people like it, so whatever. And then the foot goes all the way back and far enough forward, and the ankle rocker is okay. So yeah, he's fine, other than like some parts don't work well. Some parts work pretty well. For a Marvel Legends figure, this is better than average. There's a lot to like about this figure. It's not perfect by any means. There's a lot to dislike. But it's not bad. I'll give the articulation a 7. It's pretty decent. I mean, it's not impressive at all, but it's decent. And now it's time for the final verdict on this guy. For me personally, I would go like 8. Or even 8.5, because I love the silhouette. And the new sculpt work is nice. And the paints are clean enough. But because they screwed up the head and the main coloring, and the articulation is just average, I can't go higher than 7.5 for my actual objective rating. There's a lot that I really enjoy about this figure, but we have to be realistic. It's a Spider-Man figure with just standard articulation, the wrong shaped head, and the wrong paint. That's a lot wrong. It's lucky that they did some stuff really well on it too. So he if he didn't have that good silhouette, he'd be a 5, easy. But I'm curious what you guys think, because I actually personally really enjoy this one, despite the flaws. Because of that, the good things that they did add to it. So it's so easy for Hasbro to make a better figure. All they have to do is give a little bit of an effort. That's what I was going to say, and they'd be right there. But even when they do, they still shoot themselves in the foot. So this is what you get. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.